Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you have 3 apples, you eat one, then another, and finally the last one, now you have nothing. But how do you write nothing? How do you express it with a number? For thousands of years, people struggled with this question. There was no symbol, no word, only silence where a number should be. This is the story of 0, a number that did not exist for a long time. When it finally emerged, it changed the world Our journey begins in the ancient world, in civilizations like Egypt, Babylon, and Rome. These great empires built cities, counted their crops, and recorded their histories. They were brilliant people. Yet none of them had a symbol for 0. In ancient Rome, for instance, their number system relied on letters. I meant 1, V meant 5, and X meant 10. These letters could express quantity, but they could not convey that you had nothing. There was simply no letter, no symbol to indicate Imagine being a Roman merchant with 105 sheep. Writing that number presents a challenge. The 1 is straightforward, but the 0 in the middle, there's nothing there. Romans lacked a way to illustrate that absence. Thus, they devised complicated methods to express numbers. Mathematics became a slow and arduous task. Simple calculations transformed into complex endeavors. Yet the answer remained elusive, hiding in an empty space awaiting discovery. Meanwhile, in a distant land to the east, a different way of thinking quietly emerged. Our story shifts to ancient Babylon in present-day Iraq. Over 2,000 years ago, the Babylonians excelled in mathematics. They observed the stars, studied the sky, and constructed magnificent temples. Precision was paramount, as mistakes in recording planetary movements could. As they progressed, they recognized the need for a marker within a number, an indicator of an empty space. They devised a simple symbol, not a circle, but 2 small diagonal marks, like a tiny stamp pressed into clay. This symbol indicated an empty position within a number, not at the end, but in the middle. It marked, for the first time, a civilization acknowledged that this empty space mattered. This nothing was part of the number. However, something was still missing. The Babylonians utilized their symbol merely as a tool, not as a standalone number. They didn't question whether 0 could be calculated, added, or multiplied. 0 was viewed as a space, a gap, but not yet The real birth of 0, when nothing transformed into something, was still to come. It awaited discovery in a land rich with rivers and ancient wisdom, where thinkers pondered questions never before asked. Now we journey to ancient India, around 1,400 years ago. Here, something extraordinary began to unfold in mathematics. Indian thinkers and scholars began to conceptualize 0 not just as an empty space, but as a real number, a number with identity, capable of being used in calculations. One of the pivotal figures in this tale is Brahmagupta, an Indian mathematician and astronomer from around 628 AD. He authored a significant work on mathematics and astronomy. In this book, he proposed rules for using 0 in calculations. He stated, if you add 0 to a number, it remains unchanged. He added, if you subtract 0 from a number, it also. For the first time in history, 0 was no longer an empty space. It was a functioning number. Brahmagupta even ventured into deeper inquiries, pondering the implications of dividing by 0, a question that would linger for centuries. In India, 0 became alive, finding its place within the number system we now recognize as the Hindu-Arabic. This system, including the digits 1 through 9 and 0, was a remarkable gift from India to the world. Quietly, this gift began its journey westward, into the thriving cities of the Islamic world during a time rich with learning. Around the 8th and 9th centuries AD, cities like Baghdad became centers of education. Scholars from diverse lands gathered, libraries brimmed with knowledge, and thinkers delved into medicine, science, astronomy, and mathematics. It was here that the Indian numeral system, including 0, caught their attention. They studied it diligently, translating it into Arabic and grasping its immense potential. One key figure in this narrative is Al-Khwarizmi, a mathematician in Baghdad around 800 AD. He authored texts that elucidated the Indian numeral system, including 0, in a practical manner. His work was so influential that his name gave rise. An algorithm is a series of steps to solve a problem. Every time a computer or phone is used, algorithms are at work. The concept of 0 traveled alongside Al-Khwarizmi's ideas, making its way into Europe over many years. Yet the story of Zero's entry into Europe is marked by resistance, fear, and lengthy debates about the nature of numbers. Imagine something revolutionary entering your life, altering your perspective. While some embrace it, others react with trepidation. When zero arrived in Europe around the 10th and 11th centuries, many viewed it with suspicion. European merchants began to hear of this new numeral system from the Islamic world, tracing back to India. Some merchants adopted it, realizing calculations became simpler. With zero, adding and multiplying large numbers turned straightforward, unlike the cumbersome. However, not all welcomed this change. Some Europeans deemed these new numbers perilous, with certain cities even enacting laws against them. A law against a number, a law against zero. Yet you cannot halt an idea destined for greatness. Slowly, through generations, acceptance grew. A pivotal moment occurred in 1202 when Italian mathematician Fibonacci published Liber Abaci, or the Book of Calculation. In this work, he enlightened European readers about the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, illustrating its practicality and how zero simplified calculations. This book reached merchants, scholars, and scientists, accelerating the acceptance of zero within European life. The world was on the cusp of transformation, one that Fibonacci could not have fully envisioned. But the true surprise lies in the realization that zero did not merely transform mathematics, it reshaped the world itself. With zero in the number system, writing vast numbers became effortless. 1 million. Just a one followed by 6 zeros. Without zero, clarity in science accelerated. Astronomers calculated celestial movements with newfound accuracy. Engineers designed structures with precision. Then, centuries later, the invention of computers emerged, operating on a system of two numbers. 0 and 1, every word typed, every image viewed, every video played on screens is composed of countless zeros and ones. Your phone comprehends zero. Your computer communicates in zero. Every digital interaction exists on the foundation of zero. When those ancient thinkers in India welcomed zero into the realm of numbers, they could not fathom the magnitude of their contribution. They could not have imagined smartphones, airplanes, or space rockets. Yet their gift of zero resides within each of these marvels. The discovery of zero transcended mathematics. It marked a monumental turning point in human history. A quiet symbol encapsulating one of humanity's most powerful ideas. That nothing is something. Let us pause for reflection. Zero is not merely a number, it embodies a profound idea, a philosophical concept. And it was not always easy for people to accept the concept of zero. Imagine the struggle to believe that nothing could hold meaning, that an empty space is significant. The absence of something, paradoxically, becomes something itself. This notion perplexed many ancient cultures. Some Greek philosophers rejected zero entirely, insisting that nothing could not exist. They argued that everything in the universe was made of something substantial. To assert that nothing existed, to frame it as this profound resistance is part of why zero's journey from India to Europe was so long. It transcended mere mathematics, it challenged perceptions of reality and the universe itself. Meanwhile, in India, a different approach thrived. Ancient Indian philosophy embraced concepts of emptiness, the void, and the idea that something can contain nothing yet still be real. The Sanskrit term for zero is shunya, meaning empty or void. This understanding of emptiness was woven into the fabric of Indian spiritual. Thus, when Indian mathematicians documented zero, they weren't merely addressing an arithmetic issue. They expressed a deeply rooted cultural belief. Emptiness is real and nothing has a name. This notion, encapsulated in the simple form of a small circle, journeyed across the globe. Now we reach the end of this remarkable journey. We've traversed from ancient Babylon to the vast libraries of India, from the bustling city of Baghdad to the medieval markets of Europe. Following a humble symbol, a circle representing nothing, we witness its evolution into one of humanity's most profound ideas. What insights emerge from this tale? The first lesson is striking yet crucial. Small things can change the world. Zero is merely a symbol, a small circle, yet it made modern science, computers, and The second lesson revolves around patience. It took thousands of years for zero to evolve from its origins to its current significance. Ideas require time, they seek teachers, and they flourish through those willing to listen and learn. You are one of those individuals embarking on your own journey of discovery. Remember, no journey is too small or too slow. Every step counts. Every lesson matters, even those about nothing. The third lesson is about connection. Zero belongs to no single culture or nation. It is a gift that traveled from India to the Islamic world, then to Europe, and ultimately to the entire globe. Knowledge is universal. When shared, it grows, becoming something greater than any individual could create alone. This moment, right now. So, dear listener, thank you for being here, for listening, and for learning alongside this narrative. If this story resonated with you, reflect on what surprised you most. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Keep listening, keep learning. And as we close this chapter, look forward to the next story that awaits.